guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's episode, we are going to have an information session with Vera. If you are new on my channel, I am Aboagye, your scholarship and admission buddy. The purpose of my channel is to create curate content that is linked to studying abroad, scholarship, and the in between. So if today is your first time watching, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you've been here with me throughout the journey, I'm so happy you are still here. So before we start, Vera, could you introduce yourself? Then we could go right in.
Okay, so as Barbara rightly said, my name is Vera Ando, and I currently work as a partner for Aivancity as a student recruiter. Aivancity is actually an AI specialized university in France. I live in Strasbourg, France. For those of you who know, it's a bit on the German border. Yeah, so I think that's a little bit about myself. I'm sure we'd get to know each other as we exchange a bit. So.
Okay, thank you very much, Vera, for agreeing to do this. So my first question I want to ask you is that you said you're a student recruiter. Who is a student recruiter? What does your job entail? And what does that actually really mean?
Okay, so a student recruiter is somebody who finds students for schools or serves as a middleman between the students and the school. As you yourself would know, because you're a specialist in all of this, applying for schools is a very daunting activity. If you want to go to school, it's not just about just sending out an application. It can be hectic. So then student recruiters actually go out to help students to send out the applications, help them to put their documents together to make sure that their folders are complete. More so for the school, they also serve as a way to get students coming in every year, which is very, very critical for this the school. Especially now that being an international school means that you should be able to get students from all over the world. So my tasks on the daily is to get students from Ghana, because that's where I am from. So I liaise with Aivancity to get students from Ghana for them.
Okay, who pays you? The student will have to pay you, or
No. So my work is actually based on commission. So I work for the university as an agent on my own, but then I do not take money from students. The university pays me off. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much. Thanks for letting us know like who a student recruiter is.
Right.
Because the difference between Vera and I is I do not apply to the schools for you.
Right.
I will just give you the information, and I expect that you do it yourself because we are all busy people.
Yeah.
But what Vera does is like she's going to take you through the whole process, help you look through your documents and all that. Okay. That's
I think another part, maybe I should add this also, that what makes a difference between what you do and what I do is also that I represent certain universities. Okay, so there are particular universities. So for example, I represent Aivancity in this particular case, and for us, you are very open to every other school which is available. So.
Okay, thanks for chipping this in. Tell us about Aivancity. What do they do? What programs do they have? And why should somebody decide to consider this university?
Okay, so let me start off by saying that the school is an AI specialized school, and then somebody might maybe ask what AI is. AI is artificial intelligence, and it's a field of computer science and engineering that practices for intelligence demonstrated by machines and robots or intelligent agents. Okay, so you may have computers. If you're using your phone or your computer to watch this video right now, you are also using an AI tool. Okay, and so I'd also want to say that it's become so much of a part of us right now. Maybe I'll go a bit into details later on, but the school actually, Aivancity, is located in Paris, Paris Cachan, and the vision of the founder is to make Aivancity the MIT of France. And if you know MIT is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They are the top, the creme de la creme of IT and technology and AI and all of that. So that is his objective, to make Aivancity the AI hub in France. You know. Now, a bit about the school also. It has gone through phases of establishment for a long time now, and now it's evolved to be what it is right now. That's an AI-focused university, which allows for students to come from all over the world to pursue studies in artificial intelligence. Because at Aivancity, the founder believes that artificial intelligence shouldn't be treated as a technological phenomenon, but rather a social phenomenon. That is to say that because it's become a part of us, because it's become a part of our society, everybody should be able to have a hang of it, or everybody should have in-depth knowledge about it. So that is the essence of the school. That is the spirit of the school, Aivancity.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
There are three things I'm a bit confused with. You talked about the fact that AI is engineering and technology and computer science. And I also talked about the fact that they want to make it like a social issue. Like, what's the link? Like,
Right.
confused at that part.
Okay, I think it's your question is very valid and very important. Now, when people hear artificial intelligence, there is a bit of, yeah, that's really not my thing. It's too technological for me. But when we talk about it being a social phenomenon, or it being available for everybody, just as I stated earlier on, if you're using your phone or your computer right now, you will agree with me that you are a bit involved with artificial intelligence. Barbara, you were in France, so you know this. I'm sure that in Canada it might be the same as well, where you go to banks and you don't even see tellers there anymore. And this has become the norm. You apply for jobs, and you know that there is not an individual who is going to screen your application, but it's actually going to go through certain softwares that would filter and all of that. These are all the works of artificial intelligence, and so it's become part of our everyday life. So when I say that we are trying to make it a social phenomenon, we are trying to make it part of our education acquisition, so that like the way we have knowledge about let's see, basic technological stuff, we want AI tools to be in that category where we the layman has an understanding of how it works and how it functions to make life easier for all of us. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah, you have. And even in Ghana, example is like there are certain banks where you can actually deposit money into the ATMs without teller. That's basically
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it will make it easier for individuals in society to be able to handle these things, which are quickly integrating into our society. And more so for me, it's in the job aspect. Since you're talking about education, the end of education for all of us is to get a good job, a job where we find satisfaction, where we find pleasure, and a job that pays the bills, And for me, if we are considering AI as a social phenomenon, I also say that if you think you are in a normal job and you're afraid that maybe one day you may be laid off because of current developments and so on, I tell you that once you are equipped with artificial intelligence, you become a very hot cake on the market, and it'll be very hard for somebody to get rid of you. Okay, because I'm imagining that in these banks where tellers are being laid off and stuff like that, if anybody should be retained, it'll be someone who has knowledge about how to manipulate these new tools and software. So here you go.
Okay, thank you very much, Abigail. Thank you much, Vera, for letting us know what AI is about and for introducing the university. So now I'd like you to tell us some of the programs the university does offer, the duration and the fees.
Right. Okay. So at Aivancity, as I was saying, we offer a wide range of courses, undergrad and masters. And some of the courses are in French, some are in English, but if you want, you could do whichever that you want. For example, I did my master's in French and I was able to do it. So then why not? And I also believe that there are some Francophone speaking people living in Ghana who also may be interested in doing a master's or a bachelor's in France, in French. So we have a Bachelor of Science Applied Artificial Intelligence, which is a 3-year program. Bachelor's program in France is 3 years. So that is it for the Bachelor of Science Applied Artificial Intelligence. And the fees is at 8,900 euros for the year. So for the 3 years, will be 8,900 every year. Then on the master's, we have an MSc Artificial Intelligence and Data Science for Business. And this program is actually very adapted for students who have an undergrad in business or business administration, etc., etc. It's a 2-year master's program, and it's dispensed in English. So for all those who want to do their masters in English and artificial intelligence, you are taken care of. The fees is at 12,900 euros. Then we also have an MSc data
A year,
engineering course
yes.
per year. Yes, yes.
Okay.
We have an MSc data engineering program, which goes at 17,000 euros a year. It's a 1-year program. So yeah. Then there is MSc data management. And this program actually, I would take time to explain it very well. It's what we call in France alternance. So if you're doing an alternance program, that means that you are schooling and working at the same time. And it's actually very interesting. I'm sure many people might be interested in this because aside the fact that you get the professional experience, the exciting news is that your fees are paid by the company that employs you, and you actually paid monthly. You get a monthly stipend for working, of course. However, working in schooling could be also daunting, so it's for you to decide. So that's for the MSc Data Management program. Then there is also MSc Machine Learning.
For the MSc data management, the
Yes,
company that employs you, they pay your fees and they also give you monthly stipend.
absolutely. Yeah.
What's the duration of the program? 2 years?
So for the MSc Data Management, it's a 1-year program.
Okay. And
Yes.
it's compulsory to do it as an alternance.
Yes, so it's compulsory to do it as an alternance year. So working
Okay.
and schooling at the same time.
Okay. And that the university offers you the companies, or you have to find them yourself.
You would have to find them yourself, but then I'm sure there are we have a guidance, a counseling guidance section of the school, so definitely you will be assisted in searching for it, but then it's more of your job, it's not their responsibility. So they give you the admission and then you find the school, you
You
find
find
a
them.
company. Exactly.
And if you don't get, what happens to your admission?
So what I know about alternance is that if you don't get the other, you forfeit if you don't get one, you forfeit the other.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So and the last one I was mentioning was MSc Machine Learning, and that is on a part-time basis. So you could also work and then go on with it. That's for 17,000 euros, and it's a 1-year program. Aside these bachelor's and masters, we also have short courses. Aivancity has short courses that it offers.
When you say part time, what do you mean by part time? Like how many hours of school?
Okay, so then you have the weekends, and it's actually every it's actually 1 out of 2. I don't know if I'm
Oh,
making sense on that. So every other weekend, yeah, every other weekend. So on Saturdays you have classes, and then the next week you wouldn't, and then the next afterwards every 2 weeks. Yeah.
so you only have classes on Saturdays, and
Yes.
it's
So then you
every
was working on the side probably. So
yeah,
maybe a
and it,
professional, and then you want to still study. You want to have a master's in machine learning or something. So that is on the part-time basis. You could do that.
because the reason why I'm asking is like for do you have to be present or it's an online program?
Okay, so we also have online programs, and of course, because Ivancity is an AI school, there are quite a number of online stuff. You know,
I mean that particular program.
so for this particular program, machine learning, it's present. You have to be there.
Yeah, because the reason why I'm asking is like I'm imagining the embassy willing to give you
Give
a
you for
visa.
part time, yeah,
Yeah,
for part
exactly.
time.
Because that's what I'm thinking, like how possible it is because you only like you only go to school on Saturdays and it's not even
Yeah,
every Saturday, it's every other Saturday. That means for
yeah.
somebody in France, this might be quite challenging for them.
Mm.
Do you know anybody who has moved from Ghana to France for that program?
No, so I personally don't know anybody who has moved from France to Ghana. It's true that what you're saying is for you to come to France to study on Fridays and Saturdays. I think this is more adapted for somebody who is in France already. Yeah,
Okay.
because of course the embassy might not be willing to give you to come and then study. Yeah, but then that's how I was saying that there are the online options where you can participate in lectures online. So it makes it also very easy enough for you to acquire the necessary knowledge that you need.
Because like I feel that for me personally, to pay that amount of money, I will also want to have the French
The full
experience.
experience, yes, that is true.
That amount
That
of
is
money
true.
taking classes online. But yeah,
That
that's just like yeah, you could
Yeah.
continue now.
But lately, especially because of the pandemic and all of the things that have happened to our world the past year and over, a whole lot of lectures have been online. And I have friends who had actually applied to Canada but weren't able to, or to the UK, paid a huge sum of money for their fees, but had to do it from Ghana. And those are some of the challenges that our current situation have subjected us to. So I feel like
Yeah,
you still have your money's worth. You still have
yeah.
your money's worth, but
The difference between them and this is they didn't know that was what was going to happen. They had hope that things will get better and they'll have to
yeah,
move to Canada or the UK. Like, but if they knew beforehand that they were going to spend the entire time online in Ghana, I doubt they will be willing to take that risk.
that's a
But
fair
then
point.
there are different people and
Yeah.
different things they want. So yeah, I do get you.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. But then as I said, this one is actually adapted, it's more adapted for somebody who is working. So maybe I really have to upgrade myself in machine learning because I'm already in the field or not. And I have work and I can't get a sabbatical or something or a steady leave or something. So I still have to do it and I get to do it online. So I think depends on the situation that you find. If you're looking for French experience, definitely then this particular option wouldn't be for you. Yeah. So back to the short courses. So we have executive education, and then we also have summer schools. The executive education are actually programs that come and go, so they come as and when, and they range between 2,900 and 5,600 euros, and so they could go on for about a month or two, and so on and so forth. The summer schools are actually very exciting part of Aivancity that I think is pretty interesting for high schoolers. So probably you have a brother or sister, or you are a young person in high school thinking of pursuing your studies in artificial intelligence. You could get first-hand experience in learning about it so that you could be a step ahead of your peers or something of the sort. So it actually takes place in July. So currently there is one going on. It takes place in July and it goes for 3,000 euros and it's in France. So if you want to travel as well, and the program is a complete package. It's a 1 month program and it includes tours and stuff like that. So aside the learning part, you get to also experience France as you want.
And when do you have to apply for these summer programs?
So the summer program, it's already taken place. So then it's already too late because we are in July. Yeah,
Or like
but then
yes,
normally between the year till June. Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah,
And also, I think people should consider the fact that it also takes a period of time for you to get your visa. So you should
yes,
consider.
yes, yes. Mm,
Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
I think yeah, go on.
Finish up.
Yeah, I was gonna mention also that an exciting part of Ivancity's programs is that because it's AI focused, they have a partnership with University of California, um, University of California, which allows students from Aivancity to visit the school, to visit Silicon Valley. Okay, so this Silicon Valley trip actually allows you to experience a firsthand what those in the game are living the dream or living the life like. So as you all know, Silicon Valley is the hub of all these tech giants. You have all of those big startups and great investors there. So this trip actually would allow you to experience that life. It will allow you to have some networking and also to meet people. You get to learn from the students in University of California, Berkeley, and it's a 3-week long adventure. But I think it depends on every course. The 2-year master's program, MSc, AI and data science for business, actually goes for 1 month, and then the other courses it's just for 3 weeks. So it's an adventure, it's an opportunity to network, and it's also part of your fees.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
I have two questions. The first one is with regards to the summer program. After the summer program, do you get a certificate?
Most definitely. Most definitely. You get a certificate. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thanks. And with the fees, to be frank, the fees are quite high. Like comparing it to other French universities,
Yes.
is there any payment plan, or are there scholarships? Like what's available for people who are willing to?
All right. So then, indeed, it's comparative to other comparatively to other French schools. It's true the fees are on the high side, but also compared to other universities all over the world in UK, etc. I think this is fair enough, normal. However, there are opportunities and strategies have been put in place to help students to be able to afford the fees. So, for example, the school has partnered with certain banks to be able to give loans to students who are enrolled in their programs to pay off within a certain period of time at a very, very low rate.
How
There are
much
also,
is low?
so I don't have the percentage, but then it is really low. It is really low because there are partnerships with the banks. Then again, there are scholarships that are available. So if you get in touch with me, for example, because you are interested in applying to the school, I will help you to get a couple of scholarships, to apply to a couple of scholarships and so on, which will fit your criteria. And if you watch Barbara's YouTube channels also, I'm sure you get a whole lot of tips about how to get scholarships. There is also the French Embassy Scholarship, which is available for students who would want to study in France. The school also gives you a payments plan so that if you don't have all of the money to pay upfront, you could pay maybe a bit in first semester, and then in second semester also you pay another part of it. And as I mentioned earlier, the
Uh,
alternance option also helps you to not have fees at all to pay. So, yeah.
okay. With regards to the payments plan, how does that inhibit your chances of getting a scholarship? The reason why I'm asking is like there are some schools before they will give you admission, you have to pay a certain amount of money. Is it the same with Aivancity before you
No,
get your?
for Aivancity, you just have to pay your application fees, okay, which ranges between 90 euros and 120 euros. And apart from that, you don't your admission to the school is not determined by your ability to pay upfront your fees or not. So,
Okay, but this could be a requirement for the visa because if you are paying that huge amount of money, the embassy will want to see if you can actually really pay for that fee. So let's say you get the option for the loans. Do you have to be in France before you can get the option for the loans, or even when you are out of France, you'll be able to get the option for the loan with maybe a document to add to your document for the visa? Like I don't really know much about this, so that's why I want to
okay.
know.
Sure. So for the loans, for example, you would have to be in France to be able to have access to the loan, because already you should have a bank account in France first of all before you can be accorded a loan. Otherwise, if they give you the loan and then you don't end up coming, it's
Well, yeah, I get you, but when I don't really mean that they give you the loan, but like they have a document to
that
give
set
to you, like
that
proof that
confirms.
you'll be able to get a loan from them. And if you don't have the loan, how does that inhibit you from getting a visa?
So I think for that it would be for the embassy to determine whether you will get the visa or not.
Oh,
I think that the criteria they use, yes, they do use financial, they do their financial checks and all of that for before giving you the visa. If I remember clearly, the last time I checked, I think it was that you should have like 7,000 euros in your account to be able to live on to be able to get a visa for study. If things haven't changed, then that is it. But I do not know if they would inspect also if you're going to pay your fees or not. I think that's between you and the school. So
Yeah, as for the 7,000 is your living allowances, and most
yeah,
of the time it's not really a big deal because, like, if you are going to university where the fees is like 300 euros,
mm,
obviously if you have 7,000, you'll be able to pay off like your 300 euros for the fee.
yeah.
A school that has that huge amount of money, I don't think like there's the fees is even more than your 7,000 living allowance. So if you're
Right.
only able to show 7,000, how do you show you can pay the fees? How do you show that you can live in France?
That's
I don't know if you see where I'm
yeah.
coming
I
from.
get what you're trying to say, but that's what I was saying, that I do not know how the embassy deals to be able to determine what the criteria for approving or disapproving a visa is, if they do consider that or not. Because so far as I know, with the experience that I have, so far as you have the basic requirement that they have stated in the, there is a list that they give to you for you to present your documents to them, and it says at 7,000. So then, if they might look for more, I do not know. I don't know if they would be expecting you to have more or not. Then, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Mm.
Can we have a look at the university website or like pictures of the university, how it looks like?
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so that you could have a look at. Already, I think I would take you through what the application process is like. But if you're interested in applying to Aivancity, you can reach out to Barbara, and then Barbara will give you my contacts. You send me an email, and then I'll help you through that application process. But if you like to do things on your own, like some of us, you could also try this on your own. So we'll take you quickly through the process, and so you see how it goes like. I also need to mention that for that applications, you will need to, after you have sent in your application, there is a test and an interview that you'd have to do. So it's basic uh, multiple question tests, which are on normal stuff. So then there are sort of like aptitude tests. So if you've ever taken aptitude tests, you are sure to be able to handle it. They would also test you on your knowledge in math, your knowledge in English, etc., etc. So it's nothing fearful, but then that's about it. Right. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. So this is the school's website, so Aivancity.ai, and if you are looking for a program to offer, you have students, you have executive company journalists, you have the school programs, probably go to programs. Let's say we are interested in doing an MSc AI and data science for business. So we select that. You could quickly glance through, and then if you're interested, you could look at the various topics that are over here. Whichever one is interesting for you, you read a bit on it. Then when you feel you're ready, you could click on submit your application. It's as simple as that, very straightforward. So it takes you to this page where you have applicants residing in outside France. So that is your case if you're applying from outside of France. You are either choosing the 3-year program or the 2-year program. The 3-year program, actually, if I could go a bit into it, just a second, is for those who do not have knowledge about AI at all. So then you might want to do from first year, second year to third year, and say you're applying from the second year to third year because you already have the basics. So afterwards, it takes you to a form. You fill the form, and
Um,
then
Vera, just a minute. When you say you don't have any knowledge in AI, what do you mean? Are there certain prerequisites you need?
okay. So then, as you know, artificial intelligence is very technical.
Okay.
Yes, and then I was saying that the school's objective is to help students to to help everybody to have knowledge about to treat AI as a social phenomenon. So if
So
you are from maybe a business background, you don't necessarily have, even though maybe you may want to be applying to the MSc AI and data science for business management, you may not necessarily have prior knowledge in artificial intelligence. So then when you get to do the first year program, you get all of the basic understanding, the very fundamental parts of it, and then you can move on to the next stage.
okay, thanks. But I'm still a little bit confused because in our undergrad, I don't think there are really any programs called AI. Even people who do computer science, I don't think there are programs in, or people who do engineering, I don't think there are programs in those programs which talks or teach about AI. So is a 3 year program maybe for people without science and engineering or IT backgrounds?
So yeah, more or less that for people who do not have any background in that at all.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Mm. Yeah. So I think that's about it. So once you select, you fill in your form, and then you can save and close. Afterwards, you receive an email, a confirmation email that will lead you to the next processes. But it's basic and it's simple. So
Okay. And you talked about the fact that you need to perform a test. Are there like samples of how the test will look like?
so as I mentioned earlier on, the test is actually basic multiple question, multiple choice questions. Sorry,
Okay.
and can you see my video now?
No, I
Yes.
can't.
Okay, sure. Sorry.
Just a oh, okay.
Yeah. So as I said, the questions are simple multiple choice questions, English, math, and also to test your what do you call it? Um, you know those tests that you do. What do you call it? I think I forgot. Um, aptitude test, voila.
Okay.
So they're just like aptitude test questions, you know, just basic,
Okay.
and then
You just
that's
aptitude
your
test
ability
exam.
to reason, your yeah, your critical reasoning, and so on and so forth.
And also with the interview, what's the purpose? To test your motivation
Test
or
to
test your
find out
knowledge?
what your motivation is, because that is very very key role. We the school is looking for people who are really enthused about it, who have the drive to really study it. So then they want to meet you. And I feel like if your test doesn't even reflect what you are capable of, you may have a chance to even defend yourself during an interview. I think it's just like when you apply for a job or something, and maybe your cover letter or your CV doesn't really, it's not really going well, you know. An interview opportunity allows you to express yourself so well, to let them know how motivated and how competent you are to be able to be. So I feel like the interview would give you the opportunity to show what you really are, who what your drive is.
Okay. So the process is you apply, you take the
Yes,
aptitude, and you go for the interview. Are
yes.
stages dependent on each other? An example is like if you fail the aptitude test, do you still get to go for the interview? Or once you fail the aptitude test, no interview for you?
You do. You get through the processes. So you apply, you get to write the test, and then you get to also go through the interview. That's the reason I was saying that probably the test doesn't really go well for you. You get a chance of defending yourself in the interview, defending. Yeah.
Okay. So this has been a very interesting and eye-opening conversation we had. I think my questions are I'm done with my questions. So
Right.
is there anything else you would like to share with us or what people should know about the program in general?
Okay, so then I'll just want to say that the September intake is still ongoing. So if you're interested, you may want to. However, as Barbara also mentioned earlier on, if you are applying for a school in France, you may also want to consider the visa application period and everything. But so the quicker you start, the better. Maybe you really want to go to school this year. but you just don't know where to go to yet, you may want to add Aivancity as one of your options. And if you are looking out maybe this year or next year or whenever to apply to study artificial intelligence, Aivancity should be your go-to place. It's in the heart of Paris, and you would have a wonderful experience. I can promise you that you wouldn't regret it. And if you don't come back with anything at all, apart from getting knowledge in artificial intelligence, you also come back with a bit of French vocabulary. You can trust me on that. Yes.
Like, coucou.
Like coucou, salut, comment tu vas, and so on and so forth. And France is a very wonderful place, and it would be a nice home for you if you would take this opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
Thank you,
questions
Barbara.
for the September intake is still ongoing. When
It's
does
still
it end?
ongoing. So it actually ends in September. It ends in September. Yeah. But there is also a winter intake that is in January, February. So we have an all year round admission process. So you are free to
Like,
prepare and then come through.
okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
So
great.
thank you so much, Barbara, for your platform, and thank you so much for inspiring all of us out there with um, the tips that you give about studying abroad. It's really enriching. I always say that when we study abroad, it broadens our horizon, and it gives us a different way of seeing things. It gives us different ways of solving problems, And so this is just to conclude. I remember a friend asking the question that are Africans or Blacks who are born in other European and Western countries, or who have studied in Western countries, smarter than the average African who is born and who has schooled over. Then my answer was that no, I think it's a question of exposure. And so one person has been exposed to something, different ways of doing things. And so if you give both people the same opportunities, all things being equal, you might have the one who was born and bred in Africa outsmarting the other one. So studying abroad is a very brilliant opportunity, and I really thank you for your platform.
Okay.
Kudos.
Thank you very much, Vera. If you can see, I'm blushing. Maybe the sun is. I'm blushing here. So, like, before we, like, if somebody wants to contact you, like, how can the person contact you? An email, LinkedIn, like.
So yes, I will give you my email address. Probably you could put it in. You put in the video. So you could contact me. You could send me a WhatsApp message, and I will quickly respond to your questions. You could also reach out to Barbara, and she would give you my coordinate, my contacts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vera, thanks for doing this. It's been very eye opening. And if you
The
want,
pleasure is mine.
like, if you have any questions, don't forget to leave it in the comment section. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, do so, because you are going to have more amazing content. So till we hear from you again with another episode, take care and
Bye.